The Times magazine published a story on Monday morning. Travel back to April 2017 at the Stadium of Light as Manchester United were coasting to victory over Sunderland. Echoes and chants began to hurl from the away end. The fans were singing a tune to Diego. Jose Mourinho, then United's manager, was caught by confusion. There wasn't any player at United called Diego then. So Jose turned to his bench and asked Michael Carrick, "Who is Diego?" Carrick certainly knew from experience. He explained they were singing about Diego Forlan, United's former Uruguayan striker. Mourinho looked a little surprised because, in his conception, Forlan was something of an unheralded player, but one of the reasons why fans remember him so fondly and still sung his name after 13 years then is because he scored twice in United's win at Anfield in 2002. When a United player scores a winner at Anfield, his name is etched into the club's folklore. And now it is only a matter of time before fans start orchestrating the tune for the man behind the biggest win in Amorim's tenure, Harry Maguire. The story of Harry Maguire is beyond fascination and inspirational. His redemption and serenation is arguably the most deserved and extraordinary tales of modern football. This is a player who wasn't just criticized for bad performances, but borderline abused by his own fanbase. The easy punchline of every cheap joke, the centre-back outright rejected by United's legends, tore apart by any and every pundit, stripped of his captaincy by his own manager, a laughingstock ridiculed even by the Ghana Parliament.
But there was a player in the United Kingdom, in England, called Maguire, who was playing for Manchester United. He became the biggest threat at the center of Manchester United's defense, tackling Manchester players and giving assists to opponents.
This is worrying news because Harry Maguire, we're learning, has received a bomb threat to his home.
We always talking about pairing him with someone, but what about taking him out of the squad?
Harry Maguire talking about we need to come together as a group. No, you need to sort your game out. If you're going to be the leader of that group, you need to get the basics right, do your own job.
What's happened is that people have taken the piss out of this guy so relentlessly that you're genuinely waiting for him to do anything. And now, even if he misplaces something or he doesn't, he's getting hammered.
Whatever level of scrutiny you can imagine, it doesn't even come close to the level of abuse Maguire suffered. Maybe Maguire's performances in 2022 weren't good and he should have been benched. But to cross the line of a professional criticism and send bomb threats by fans, to be pressured by the club into a transfer to West Ham United, to endure all of this and yet not break, to suffer through all those mistakes, the insults, the doubts, the memes, the mockery, and keep going, not to be bitter towards your club's fans, your manager, your teammates, and fight your way back. Earning your spot, restoring the armband, earning the respect of the same doubters and critics.
Speaker, I now apologize to Harry Maguire. You got very angry when I used your defender as an example. Today, Maguire has turned the corner, is a transformational footballer. Harry Maguire is now scoring goals for Manchester United. Mr. Speaker, Harry Maguire is now a key player for Manchester United.
It takes one hell of a human being to do so. Wayne Rooney admitted he probably couldn't have endured what Maguire went through at Old Trafford and keep playing.
I think with Harry, I would really struggle to have dealt with what he's been through. You know, he was a meme for years. You had, I think I see him in Parliament, and so for him to have dealt with so much and what he's dealt with, he's incredibly strong-minded to be gone through that.
His redemption arc is well established by now. Even in Erik ten Hag's second season, Maguire had established himself as a reliable member of the back four among injury crises. Then there are all those late goals and the historic winners. April 17, 2025 will be told to the younger generation as folklore, and it will be Maguire at the center. But that 84th minute at Anfield was a particular high point, the culmination of the past 6 years. For 9 years, Anfield had turned into a haunted ground for United. Not a single win recorded since 2016. A time span that encompassed multiple beatings and humiliation, Maguire of which stood in some of those. These 90 minutes had a lot riding on for Ruben Amorim and the club. Despite the early lead and survival, Cody Gakpo's equalizer had electrified the stadium. Liverpool's forwards were swarming and United appeared fragile to another episode of trauma. Instead, Harry Maguire responded with a storyline of his own to seal a memorable victory that also paints Amorim's status in a different hue. Last season, Harry Maguire missed the last chance of the game at Anfield to win it. A year later, this time, he completed his redemption. This was the first time Amorim has achieved back-to-back wins in the Premier League, and perhaps could be the catapult that launches his United win. And at the center of it all was the man who rose above the hate and stood in the culmination of his redemption. 3 years ago, Maguire was once the punchline of every cheap joke, at the sharp end of every cheap criticism, and the most hated player at United. And now, his name will forever be sung by United fans.